Okay, this is it, the last video in this section on detoxing your sugar cravings. And we've talked all about being a sugar burner and why you want to be a fat burner. And now it's time to talk about how do you actually detox the sugar cravings. And the good news is what it takes to detox your sugar cravings isn't eliminating sugar or cutting carbohydrates or going on a fad diet. It's really dialing in the habits you learned in the last section on food as fuel and tuning into your body even deeper, okay? I don't just want you here eliminating sugar for a week and then going right back to where you started, which so many people do. They stick to it for a week or 2 weeks or a month or even 6 months, and then they revert back. And I know that the bigger the restriction, the bigger the binge is when you come back, okay? I'm here to help you change your metabolic system in a way that takes you for life from exhausted, sugar craving, holding weight, and burning sugar as your primary source of fuel to energized, nourished, eradicating your cravings for real and eradicating those cravings for real and confidently becoming a pro-fat burner for life, okay? It's not enough to simply curb your sugar cravings by starving yourself from sugar. It just never works. And in fact, if you recognize yourself as a sugar burner and you're a runner, the worst thing you can do is simply go sugar-free or carbohydrate-free. Suddenly cutting yourself off from that supply of glucose and carbohydrates will make you feel awful. It'll slow your metabolism, it'll hinder your performance, and it will set you up for a cycle of yo-yo dieting, worsening any of those health issues or feelings of misery that you're currently feeling. Okay, so how do you make that shift? How do you detox the sugar cravings? The good news is the way to detox your sugar cravings isn't a whole lot different than what I taught you in the last section about how to nourish your body, how to use food as fuel. So this is not going to be any different from that, but just another reason for you to really dial in that nutrition, okay? So let's just dive into the 6 simple strategies that are going to crush your sugar cravings. Number 1, stop thinking in terms of restriction and start thinking in terms of nourishing your body. That alone can change everything. We don't want to focus on crowding, or we don't want to focus on restricting things and what you can't eat and how to cut everything out, because that's really stressful on your brain. It doesn't like it. But I want you guys focusing on what you can eat and how to nourish your body so you can crowd out those cravings. That will make the difference. Your body needs calories. You are a runner. You can't tolerate any of those standard detoxes and low-carb diets because your body has unique needs when you're pushing paces and distances and strength workouts and trying to build muscle. You just need the right carbs, which we talked about in the last module, in the right balance, which we talked about in the last module, for the right reasons, which we're talking about now and we've talked about in the last module. So just recognize that you want to be nourishing your body. Tip number 2 is eat the right food, right? We want to be eating fats and proteins and carbohydrates. Those are your macronutrients. You only want to eliminate foods that you're intolerant, sensitive, and allergic to. That's going to be different for everybody. Know yourself, but understand that your body needs all the food, fats, proteins, carbohydrates, with a focus on real, whole, nutrient-dense food, which we talked about in the last module. Tip number 3 to detox sugar cravings. You want to be eating in the right balance. Every time you eat a carbohydrate, balance it with a fat and a protein. This is a powerful way to balance your blood sugars, keep your insulin in check, keep you full in between meals, and get your body into fat burning mode, okay? It's a hormonal shift. That's how you're going to flip your body's metabolic switch, by eating in that balance. Tip number 4, stop skipping meals. Eating 3 balanced meals per day with snacks in between as you're hungry is key to curbing those sugar cravings. When you get hungry in between meals, you're going to stop and ask yourself, are you really hungry? Is it something else? Know yourself and make sure you're getting enough nutrients. Tip number 5 is to really tune into that hunger between your meals. Remember, when you're eating enough macronutrients in a good balance for those 3 meals per day, and you're starting to become a pro-fat burner, you might not get hungry in between those meals. And so often we snack in between meals simply because the food is there And it's habit, and we don't think about it. And I want you to tune into your hunger even deeper now. I want you to ask yourself between your meals, am I hungry? Think about when the last time you ate was. Did you work out? Is it real hunger or is it something else? If you're hungry, then eat, but eat in balance, something that's going to nourish your body, something in that carbohydrate, fat, protein balance. And if you're not hungry, you got to do something else. Drink some water, go for a walk, listen to music. I want you to start to think about other ways you can satisfy that habit and that craving without using food to fill that gap. And we're going to talk about that more in the next section on how to eliminate emotional eating, because that's the core of that. But just tune into that hunger and start to get to know yourself and listen to the signs. And then tip number 6 is drink more water. You've heard me say that before, right? The next time you feel hungry or tired, reach for a glass of water. Start there. Drinking water has been proven to curb cravings, boost metabolism, and help with weight loss. Fat burning. Being even mildly dehydrated can make your energy levels plummet, so commit to drinking lots of water. A bonus tip is that if you aren't sleeping, you are likely craving more sugar, so really be aware of that. Skipping sleep starts a chain reaction in your hunger and stress hormones that lead to increased appetite, moodiness, weight gain, poor blood sugar control, and a serious lack of willpower, no matter how hard you try. So just keep that in mind. If you're doing all these things but you're not sleeping, that can really be contributing to your sugar cravings as well. And we're going to talk about sleep more in the rest and recovery section. But for now, I want you to focus on those 6 things that you can do, okay? So let's just do a quick review. Number 1 is stop thinking in terms of restriction and start thinking about nourishing your body. Number 2 is eat the right food. Make sure you're eating fats, carbohydrates, and protein always in balance. Tip number 3 is the balance. Every time you eat a carbohydrate, balance it with a fat and a protein. Tip number 4 is eat 3 meals per day in that balance with snacks in between as you're hungry. Okay. Tip number 5, tune into your hunger. Are you really hungry or is it something else? And tip 6 is drink more water. Those are things that you can start to implement today to curb your sugar cravings. Detox your sugar cravings forever, okay? There you go. Getting your sugar cravings under control has nothing to do with extreme elimination or restriction and everything to do with understanding your food and learning how to eat it properly to balance your fat storing and fat burning hormones. Also has everything to do with mindfulness and shifting the words in your head from restricting to nourishing and loving your body, fueling it with what it needs to function properly. When you can do that, you don't have to worry about counting calories or restricting because you're going to be making healthy choices naturally. And that's when it gets really easy, okay? But know that this isn't going to happen overnight. We're going to work through this together. You're just going to try things, and you have access to me in the Facebook group. So if you have questions, reach out and ask me anytime. In the next module of this course, we're going to dive deeper into emotional eating because I know that it's not as simple as following these 6 habits or understanding the basics of macronutrition like we learned in the last one. We really have to go a little bit deeper and dig into some of those emotions you're having and the stress and some of the triggers that are causing old habits to resurface so that we can eliminate them forever and get you building that fit, strong, healthy, lean, pro-fat burning body that's going to feel amazing for you, that body, that health that you really desire, okay? So I'll see you in the next module.